Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. Ready to explore something new?
Always.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be looking at this idea of building a profitable online side hustle, even if you only have like 10 hours a week to get.
Oh, wow.
So we're diving into this guide called Side Hustle Success Planner, 10-hour-a-week blueprint. It's written specifically for professional women over 40 who are working full-time, but, maybe dreaming of starting their own online business.
Yeah.
So, this guide's got a ton of practical advice and strategies and things like that.
Right.
But before we get too far into it, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
The guide recognizes that most people, especially people who are balancing like demanding careers and, maybe they have families too.
Yeah.
They don't have a ton of free time.
Right.
So by focusing on just 10 hours a week, it kind of makes starting a business seem a lot less intimidating,
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but that leads to another question, which is, can you really make any progress with such limited time?
Yeah, that's the real question, right? Can you actually make this work?
Yeah.
So let's see what the guide says.
Okay.
The first step, of course, is, defining your business idea.
Right.
And the guide, they suggest aligning your business with skills and interests that you already have.
Okay.
Which I think makes a lot of sense. And since this is aimed at professionals who are in consulting, coaching, or advisory roles,
right,
they kind of recommend offering those services virtually or creating digital products to sell or building some kind of membership community online.
Yeah, that makes sense.
On the surface, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of a real example. So say someone has a background in something like project management.
Okay.
How would they kind of translate that into a concrete offering that they could do within this 10-hour framework?
So let's say our listener, she's got years of experience in project management. She could take that and put it into online courses.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, or workshops.
Okay.
Teaching small business owners, how to effectively manage their projects.
Okay. Yeah.
Or, another thing they could do is create and sell customizable project management templates or tools.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And that wouldn't even require ongoing client work.
Right, that's true.
Or, another idea is maybe build a community where other project managers can connect with each other, share resources, learn from each other.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I really like all three of those, but I think the guide makes a really good point here.
Okay.
Before anyone gets too excited,
you
have to validate your business idea.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They say you have to research your competitors, figure out what the actual demand is. And they even suggest using tools like Google Trends, LinkedIn.
Oh, right.
Even Facebook groups to just kind of see, is your target audience actually interested in this?
Yeah, totally.
It's all about making sure that there's an actual market for this brilliant idea you have before you invest all this time.
It's so tempting to just dive right in, but taking that time to do the research and validate your idea, that can save you so many headaches down the road.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
So let's say you've got a good idea.
Okay.
You've kind of confirmed that there's a market for it.
Yeah.
The next hurdle that the guide talks about is setting up your online presence.
Okay.
They recommend creating a website or a landing page using platforms like, Wix or Squarespace.
Right.
They also say you need a professional email address.
Yeah.
Maybe using Google Workspace or something.
Okay.
Which is the paid Gmail.
Right, yeah.
And of course, optimizing your LinkedIn profile.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Make sure it's showcasing your expertise.
Makes sense.
But with only 10 hours a week,
right,
how can you make sure that online presence is actually effective?
Well, it's all about working smarter, not harder, right?
I like that.
Yeah, so you want to focus on creating a clear website, make sure it's concise, visually appealing.
Okay.
You want to avoid clutter. Make sure it's super easy for people to understand what it is you offer.
Okay.
And how to get in touch with you.
So you're saying ditch the 20-page website with all the bells and whistles?
Yeah, keep it simple.
Okay.
Keep it streamlined.
Got it.
And, same thing with your LinkedIn profile. Make sure that it's laser focused on your target audience,
Yeah.
Highlight all your relevant skills, share valuable content, engage in conversations
Right.
with potential clients.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room now,
Okay.
which is time management.
Yes.
Time management.
How can someone with a full-time job,
Yeah,
family commitments, maybe they have hobbies,
exactly.
how can they find those 10 hours a week
Right.
without, completely burning out?
Yeah.
And the guide does offer this sample weekly work schedule
Okay.
where they allocate specific time slots for things like, creating content, marketing, client work,
Mm-hmm.
and even, those administrative tasks that everyone loves.
Oh, yeah, the fun stuff.
But is all this structured planning
Yeah.
really necessary?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to feel rigid,
Okay.
Think of it more like a framework
Okay.
than like a prison sentence.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. You can adjust it to fit your own life and your preferences.
Right.
The important thing is to be intentional with your time
Okay. So it's more about having that roadmap.
than sticking to a strict, minute-by-minute schedule.
Exactly. The goal is to make sure that you're making progress in all the different areas of your business without getting overwhelmed.
Okay.
And, something like time blocking can be really helpful here.
Okay. What is time blocking?
So time blocking is where you dedicate specific blocks of time to specific tasks.
Oh, okay.
So for instance, you might block out, say, 2 hours on Tuesday evenings for content creation,
Okay.
and then maybe an hour on Thursday mornings for client outreach.
Got it.
And so-
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But even within those time blocks, you could probably optimize even further, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like, what are some tips for that?
Well, you could batch similar tasks together,
Oh, okay.
to save time and energy.
Okay.
So for example, instead of writing one social media post every single day,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you dedicate like a block of time
Yeah,
to write a whole week's worth of posts at once.
got it.
Right.
So it seems like the key to success with this 10-hour-a-week model
Yeah,
is all about maximizing every minute.
it really is. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Speaking of maximizing,
Okay.
let's move on to the next stage here, which the guide calls creating a simple marketing strategy.
Okay.
So they suggest connecting with like 5 potential clients every week on LinkedIn,
Okay.
writing one helpful post on LinkedIn or your blog every week,
Mhm.
building an email list, maybe by offering like a free resource,
Oh, interesting.
kind of like this guide, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they even talk about using AI tools,
Okay.
like this thing called Magic Bookifier,
I've heard of that.
yeah, to speed up content creation.
Okay, interesting.
But this is a lot to pack into just 10 hours.
Right.
So how can you make sure that you're not spreading yourself too thin?
Well, you have to focus.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
Don't try to be on every platform all at once.
Mhm.
Instead, pick like 1 or 2 platforms
Okay.
where your ideal clients are most likely to be. And then tailor your content specifically to them,
Got it.
to their needs and their interests.
So are you saying that quality is more important than quantity
Absolutely.
when it comes to marketing?
Especially when you're on a limited time budget.
Right.
It's better to have one really amazing piece of content that resonates with your audience
Yeah,
than to have 10 generic posts that just get lost in the noise.
that's a really good point.
Mhm.
And speaking of quality,
Okay.
it's time to talk about the bottom line,
All right.
which is make.
Yes.
So the guide has a whole section on monetizing and generating income.
Mm-hmm.
And they suggest a bunch of different things,
Okay.
like offering services like consulting calls,
Yeah.
starting at maybe $100 an hour,
Okay.
selling digital products like templates or mini courses,
Mm-hmm.
priced between $29 and $199,
Okay.
creating those membership communities we were talking about
Right.
with monthly subscriptions,
Yeah.
and even exploring affiliate marketing.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like a whole menu of options.
Mm-hmm.
How would you recommend choosing the right one?
Well, I always think it's best to start small
Okay.
and manageable.
What would that look like?
So maybe offer a low-priced service or product first
Okay.
to kind of test the waters,
Mm-hmm.
get some traction.
Okay.
This could be like a shorter consulting call
Okay.
or a mini course, a set of templates, something like that.
Yeah, got it.
And then once you've established a customer base, you've built trust,
Mm.
you can gradually expand and offer some higher priced things.
Okay. So it's like dipping your toes in.
Exactly.
Before you jump in the deep end.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
Yeah, we have.
But we still have a lot more to go.
For sure.
Stick around as we delve deeper into the practical applications of the Side Hustle Success Planner.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back after a short break.
All right. Building on that, I think it's important to remember this is a journey.
Okay.
Not a race,
Right.
You don't have to have every single thing figured out from the very beginning.
That's reassuring to hear.
Yeah.
'Cause I know I definitely tend to get overwhelmed by too many options sometimes.
Yeah, I get that.
And speaking of getting overwhelmed,
Okay.
the guide has this worksheet that I think is really helpful.
Okay.
It's called Your Side Hustle Action Plan.
Interesting.
And it helps you break down those 5 steps we talked about into like smaller, manageable chunks.
Got it.
So for example, under step 1, define your business idea. It asks you questions like, what problem will you solve?
Yeah.
Who is your ideal client?
Makes sense.
How will you actually deliver your service?
Right.
These questions seem simple enough,
Yeah.
but I think they would force you to really think critically about what you're offering.
Absolutely. It's not just about having a good idea.
Right.
You have to understand, who will actually benefit from this and how will you deliver it effectively?
Exactly.
So getting those fundamentals down is super important.
For sure.
And then the worksheet continues.
Okay.
In step 2, set up your online presence.
Okay.
It wants you to think about which website platform will you use.
Okay.
Have you optimized your LinkedIn profile yet?
Right.
Do you have that professional business email address set up?
Yeah.
It's like a checklist
It is,
for building a credible online presence.
Makes sense.
But some people might say that's overkill for just the side hustle.
I disagree. I think even if you're starting small, having that professional online presence really builds trust and credibility with potential clients.
So it shows them that you're serious about this. Okay, that makes sense.
All right, the next step is where I think things start to get real.
Right.
Step 3, weekly time blocking plan.
Okay.
This is where the guide suggests using that sample schedule we talked about as like a starting point.
Okay.
So allocating those time slots for content creation, marketing, client work, all those administrative tasks.
Right, all that stuff.
But, blocking out even more time when you already have a full-time job.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything else going on. It can be daunting.
It can be,
So is there a way to make this less restrictive?
Flexibility is key. Remember, this schedule, it's a guide, not a straitjacket.
Got it.
Adapt it to your own energy levels, your peak productivity times.
Okay.
That's the beauty of time blocking.
Yeah.
It allows you to actually see your week in front of you and prioritize those most important tasks.
So it's more about that visual overview.
Exactly.
And like sticking to a rigid schedule.
That's right.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, it's not about adding another full-time job.
Okay, good.
To your already busy life.
All right, let's move on to step 4, marketing plan.
Marketing, all right.
The worksheet here wants you to outline your content plan and your networking strategy.
Got it.
So, for example, you might write, I will create one educational video every week about project management tips for small business owners.
Yeah.
Or, I'll join 2 relevant LinkedIn groups and actively participate in those conversations.
Makes sense.
So you're not just throwing things out there randomly and hoping something sticks.
Yeah, you have a plan.
Okay, that's a good point. And when it comes to creating that content, remember the power of repurposing.
What does that mean?
So let's say you've written a blog post about, project management tips.
Yeah.
You could take that same content and turn it into social media posts.
Oh,
Short video, an infographic.
Right.
It's about maximizing the value
exactly
of what you create.
Yeah.
Right? Working smarter, not harder.
Absolutely.
Okay. And finally, we get to step 5, monetization strategy.
The good stuff.
So this is where the worksheet wants you to get really specific about your service offer, your pricing, even to identify your first 3 potential clients.
Interesting.
So it's moving from dreaming to doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
by identifying those clients, it suddenly feels more real.
It does, yeah.
And actionable.
Like it could actually happen.
Okay. And then there's this bonus resources section that mentions a tool called Magic Bookifier.
Magic Bookifier.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
It apparently uses artificial intelligence
Oh, wow.
to help with things like, outlining, drafting content, repurposing content.
Interesting.
Have you ever used it?
I have, yeah. It can be really helpful for busy entrepreneurs, if they're looking to streamline their content creation.
Okay, so it can help you generate ideas, organize your thoughts.
Yeah.
Maybe even create like first drafts of articles and social media posts.
It's pretty amazing.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But they do have an affiliate disclaimer in the guide saying they might earn a commission if we buy it through their link.
Of course. Yeah.
Which, I appreciate the transparency.
Yeah, me too.
It's good to know about any potential biases.
Exactly.
But ultimately, the decision of whether or not to use it is up to the individual.
That's right.
All right, speaking of informed decisions, the guide also has a bunch of disclaimers.
Okay.
Which I always like to see. They say there are no guarantees of income or success.
Right.
Any business endeavor carries some inherent risks.
Of course.
And, your success depends on a lot of different things. Your effort, your skills, the market conditions, all that stuff.
Totally.
They also recommend that you talk to like a financial advisor or a lawyer before making any big business decisions. Think about those disclaimers.
I think they're really important, for setting realistic expectations.
Okay.
Starting a business.
Yeah.
Even a side hustle is hard work.
Right.
There are going to be challenges, setbacks along the way. And I think it's really important to go into it with a clear understanding of the risks and the commitment.
So it's about tempering the excitement.
It is, yeah.
With a little bit of reality.
That's right. You need passion, you need enthusiasm, but it has to be grounded in a solid understanding of the business world.
Okay, that makes sense. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
We've talked about defining your business idea, creating a marketing plan, using tools.
All that stuff.
But there's one more area I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
The guide is specifically targeting professional women over 40.
Okay.
Why do you think this demographic is well suited for starting an online business?
Well, I think women over 40, they have so much experience and expertise that they can use to build successful businesses.
Yeah, that's
they've navigated the corporate world, managed teams, developed all these valuable skills.
Okay.
And a lot of them are looking for more flexibility, autonomy in their careers.
So they're at a point where they're ready to
to take control and build something of their own.
And I think the online business model really appeals to a lot of people because it's flexible, low overhead costs.
Right.
You can reach a global audience.
Exactly.
It kind of levels the playing field in a lot of ways.
It does.
You don't need a fancy office.
Right.
Or a huge marketing budget started.
And I think with the right guidance and support, women over 40 can turn their passions and their expertise into thriving online businesses.
That's awesome.
It is, yeah.
But I'm sure there are challenges too, right?
Oh, for sure.
We'll explore those in the final part of our deep dive. Now that you mentioned it, there were probably a lot of unique challenges that come with that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Being a woman over 40, starting an online business.
Right, like what are some of those hurdles?
Yeah.
And does the guide even address them?
Yeah, I think one big one is like the confidence gap.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Women are often told to downplay their accomplishments.
Right, like it's not ladylike to brag or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Which can make it so much harder to put yourself out there as a business owner.
And to ask for what you're worth.
Exactly, to charge what you deserve.
I know, I've definitely struggled with that.
Oh yeah, imposter syndrome is real.
It is, yeah.
And it encourages women to really embrace
Okay.
their expertise, and to value their contributions.
Okay.
It reminds them that they have so much knowledge
Yeah.
and skills to share,
Right.
and they shouldn't be afraid to own that.
I love that message.
Yeah, it's really empowering.
It's not just about like building a business.
Right.
It's about empowering women to step into their full potential.
Exactly.
And, another challenge, I think, is just time management.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Women over 40, they're often juggling so many different responsibilities.
They are, yeah.
Careers, families, maybe they're taking care of aging parents.
Exactly.
So trying to find those 10 hours a week
Yeah.
can feel impossible.
It can feel like you're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Right, exactly.
But the guide, it acknowledges that, and it gives you some really practical tips for time blocking, prioritizing, setting realistic goals. It also talks about self-care and boundaries.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah, you don't want to burn yourself out.
Right. It's not about sacrificing your well-being
Exactly.
to make your business work.
You need to find a model that's sustainable.
Right. That works for you.
Yeah, and not against you.
And then there's the whole thing about technology,
Oh, yeah, the digital world can be intimidating.
especially if you didn't grow up with it.
Right, exactly.
I think a lot of women over 40 might feel intimidated by that aspect.
Yeah, all the tech stuff.
Yeah, building a website, social media.
It can be a lot.
But the guide actually does a really good job
Okay.
of breaking it down.
Okay, good.
It recommends user-friendly platforms. It gives you clear instructions. And it even suggests,
Yeah.
asking a tech-savvy friend or family member for help.
That's a good idea.
So it's about making it feel less overwhelming
Right, making it more accessible.
and giving women the confidence
Exactly.
to manage their own online presence.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
The 5 key steps,
Yeah.
the action plan worksheet.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
We've talked about AI tools
Oh, yeah. Magic Book of Fire.
and those unique challenges for women over 40
Mm-hmm.
who are, thinking about starting an online business.
Right.
So after all of this,
Yeah.
what's your biggest takeaway?
I think the biggest thing is just believe in yourself. Okay. You have so much more to offer than you probably realize. Yeah. Embrace your experience, your expertise, your unique perspective. Starting a side hustle,
Yeah.
it's a journey of self-discovery and empowerment.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not just about making money.
Right. It's about creating a life you love.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling super inspired after this deep dive.
Me too, honestly.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe some of our listeners will be launching their own online businesses soon.
I hope so. That would be amazing.
If you are thinking about it,
Yeah.
let us know.
Yeah, reach out.
You can find us on social media or through our website.
Yeah. We're always happy to hear from you
We're always here to cheer you on.
and offer support.
And remember,
Oh,
every journey starts with a single step,
that's true.
with the right guidance and a healthy dose of self-belief.
Yes.
You can create an amazing business online
Yeah, absolutely.
that brings you joy, fulfillment, financial freedom.
It's possible.
So until next time,
All right.
keep those knowledge-seeking minds engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And remember,
Yeah.
the world is full of possibilities,
It is.
and you have the power
Yeah.
to create the life you desire.
That's a great way to end it.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.